But Fernando, you talk so much about defense and firearms. Guns are not legal in my country where I live, here in Europe or in UK or whatever the fuck it is. Jesus Christ, give me patience. Folks, welcome to the channel, and in this case, talking about one of the more common things I come across, especially when it comes to people not in the United States. One of the huge advantages doing content for US viewers is I do not have to explain them that you have a right to own a firearm. Believe it or not, there are a number of countries all over the world where people do have that same rights. They simply don't know it. They think it's all banned. They think it is all illegal. And the truth of the matter is that unless you are in a fucking dungeon in North Korea, you have some firearm available wherever it is you are. Maybe it's not going to be an AR with a suppressor. Maybe it's not going to be an AK-47. Maybe it's not going to be a damn Gatling gun or a rocket launcher. But some kind of gun is without a doubt legal wherever the hell it is you are, with a very small number of exceptions. I think that in China it's pretty terrible. Japan, I mean, little else. For the rest of the civilized world, you do have some option available. I'm talking about this because it happened just checking the reviews of my book, Survival Skills, the Spanish version. I was just floored by the amount of people that did not know their own rights, their own regulations in their own countries. And I even took the time to answer at times these dumbass questions of, oh, hey, Fernando, I love your content, great book, great channel, but you know what? I live in Chile. We can have guns here. Yes, you can. Oh, I live in Argentina. We can have. Yes, I'm also from Argentina, and yes, you can have guns. Oh, really? Yes, really. Oh, I'm from Europe. I can have guns here. Well, yes, you can. Whatever country you are in Europe, some kind of gun is legal for you. Maybe if you're in the more restrictive countries such as UK or Ireland, maybe you are more limited in your choice. But I assure you that some guns are perfectly legal to own wherever it is that you are. Now, this also brings me to something that people don't quite understand. And this is something that I read, especially from the UK buyers leaving reviews of my book. Oh, he's such a madman. He thinks he's Rambo. This is for Americans. No, it's not for Americans. It's for you that will probably get stabbed to death by someone that is culturally enriching your nation. And, you know, that's the way it goes. But it goes for you as well. Wherever the hell it is you are, you need to understand that these are priorities. I don't talk about this all the time, but it's nonetheless, it's not least important because of that. But you need to understand that, yes, when it comes to survival and preparedness, if you're going to be looking at this from a realistic, objective perspective, yes, sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, those are things that are far more likely to affect your life expectancy, meaning early death before your average life is reached, right? If you're expecting to live, 75, 80 years old, depending on the country in which you are, there are some differences depending exactly on where. But basically, before you reach your ripe old age, if you die before that, it's probably because of these two things: sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, not enough exercise. So if you want to get into survival and preparedness, those are probably the first things you need to look into. Not talking about being a world-class athlete, but at the very least, be honest with yourself about your body mass index. Oh, that is always wrong. I'm supposed to be morbidly obese, but I'm all muscle. Well, congratulations to fucking you, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you are the exception. The great majority of people that have a body mass index that says they're morbidly obese, 99% of those guys are, right? So that's the kind of thing you need to be honest about. But at the same time, it is true that if there is one day in which you end up having to defend yourself, it's not going to be against zombies. It's not going to be against the UN that invaded your country. It's not going to be about dinosaurs that were brought back by some crazy billionaire that want to have a theme park. No, it's going to be some asshole that is probably living around your block or nearby, or someone that came from further away, or someone that came from another country and is trying to culturally enrich your ass. Whatever the case is, you need to know how to defend yourself. That's why half of this book basically is practical things on self-defense. A lot of it is practical preparedness and stuff like what you do when there's a power outage, or cleaning your clothes when there's no washing machine, or storing food, and all of the basics that I think should be in it. They are there, including a chapter explaining what I just said about prioritizing and understanding what are your real concerns, and not letting the fantasy aspect of preparedness get the better of you so as to lose focus on what is really a priority and what it is not, and from there make smart decisions. So looking after yourself, looking after your health, your body, your diet, your weight. Also these days, the mental aspect of preparedness, your mental health is one of the concerns that we have these days the most, especially for the younger generations. It is because of technology, it is because of social media. The pandemic sure didn't hurt, especially younger people, but these days mental health is a huge thing, and I try to cover that in the channel as well. Having said all of that, having gone through what I've gone in Argentina with the economic collapse of my country and the crime that came after that, and not only that, but doing this as a profession for so many years, you do research, you learn from other people's experiences, you see what happened in other countries, and what you notice is that when shit goes sideways and everyone is for themselves, it's not going to be dinosaurs or zombies. It's going to be someone else trying to hurt you. And unfortunately, all over the world, this is not just in third world countries. It's not, it's just in South America, or no. All over the world, we are seeing more violence. Homicides rates have gone up, 30-40% in the US since 2015. About that, ballpark in that number, but basically shit is more dangerous than before. And the same goes for anyone in Europe. If you're in UK, the same thing applies to you. You're seeing a hell of a lot more crime than before. So, what I'm going at, it is important to know how to defend yourself. It's not me trying to be Rambo or a badass. It's just me understanding things because I've gone through them and you have not. But believe me, when shit goes that way, when the president resigns, when there's anarchy on the streets, when there's military law declared and you lose your constitutional fucking rights, you will see this kind of anarchy and madness on the streets, and it will not be pretty. And you better know how to defend yourself. And I'm not talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or boxing, right? Those things are great, but I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about having the tools that allow you to defend yourself and your family, especially when things are you being in your home and just someone coming after you. Oh, but I live in whatever. You know what? That shotgun, that comes from England. That is a UK legal shotgun, and it was imported from England. That's a 24-inch barrel Mossberg 500. It has 7 rounds in the tube, 1 in the chamber. It is a hell of an efficient firearm in case you need one to defend yourself. That's not legal where you are? Okay. Double barrel shotgun. Even in Russia, a double barrel shotgun is legal. It is one of the most common firearms in the planet, and even in the most restrictive countries, a double barrel shotgun is usually legal. I don't know about China, again, Japan, and some other commie shithole where you don't have any right whatsoever. Maybe in those places you cannot have a double barrel shotgun. But in most of the civilized world, you do have the right to own a double barrel shotgun. And here's where people will immediately say, but it's difficult. Okay, that's where they really try my patience, because the thing is, difficult how? You need what? A gun license? A gun permit? Don't you have a fucking car? Haven't you got some kind of driving license of some sort? Oh yes, that I do have. Okay, this is basically the same thing. You're driving around a ton of metal at 80 miles per hour, and you need to know how to do that so as to safely not kill everyone on the streets. This is the same thing. Get yourself your permit, join the club, go do whatever it is they're asking you to do, but get it. In the UK, which is one of the comments I get the most from people in UK about, oh, what he talks about does not apply here. Yes, it does. Get yourself your shotgun license and buy a shotgun. Like the dumb old fool Joe Biden said, buy a shotgun? He's actually right for once. Buy yourself a shotgun if you cannot have anything else. It's perfectly adequate, especially a shotgun with either semi-automatic or pump action with a little bit of a higher capacity, even better than a double barrel one. If you can only have a double barrel shotgun, that is fine too. You can only have 22 semi-automatic or pump action. Get yourself your 22. It's a lot better than having nothing at all. But these things I insist on because I know how important it is. I know that when shit hits the fan and when things really go, tits up, you're not going to be able to run to the store and buy it then. I've seen this with my very own eyes. People running to a store, to a gun store, and wanting to buy a gun right now because people were fucking up one another on the streets. And the guy said, I can't sell you a gun now. You have to get your permit first. And that's going to be taking, but people are, robbing stores right now. Well, that's too bad. It sucks. But you cannot buy it at this moment. So, get your priorities sorted out. Understand that this is something you need to do now, not when shit goes crazy, and get it now. If you think it's just too complicated, well, think again. It's probably not. It's about getting a bit of paperwork, maybe having a class, maybe joining a gun club. Do that. What the hell? But don't lie to yourself about, it's not legal, or, you're crazy. You talk about things that I cannot do in my country. Yes, you can. You just have not sorted out if you're really into providing for yourself and your family when things get very difficult or not. Once you sort that out and make up your mind, that's what you want to do. And you want to get yourself some survival skills so that to at least know the basics on how to use a firearm so as to defend yourself if that ever happens. Guys, that's going to be all for now. See you on our next video. Take care.